Hello, I'm Anvir Johar, first year business student at Leeds Beckett, and this is my vlog about the key factors in the marketing environment which could affect John Lewis. Vlog content. We're going to talk about the definition of marketing philosophy, introduction to John Lewis itself, then we'll talk about marketing environment split into two parts, macro and micro, then we'll talk about the stakeholder theory, and then an overall summary. Definition of marketing. Marketing is a management process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. Marketing philosophy. Marketing management philosophies are the philosophies that are used by a company to guide their marketing efforts. In other words, they relate to the philosophy a business uses to identify and fulfill their customers' needs, which overall benefit both parties. Not all philosophies will work the same or even at all for different organizations. All companies use diverse strategies to one another due to the fact that they are tailored to what works best for them. The strategies are driven by obvious objectives such as efficiency, quality of product, customer satisfaction, and many more. There are 5 marketing concepts as you can see on the screen in front of you. Introduction to John Lewis. Founded in 1864 by founder John Lewis, they have 51 stores across the country, and in 2017 they did $3.78 billion in revenue. Their competitors are other non-budget nationwide department stores such as Debenhams, House of Fraser, and Marks and Spencer's. Marketing environment. First, we're going to talk about the macro environment. The macro environment is the major external and uncontrollable factors that influence an organization's decision-making and affect its performance and strategies. These factors are given by the PESTLE acronym. First, we're going to talk about political and legal. The political factor has impacted John Lewis enormously. New laws bring limits on what they can do and what is legal for them to do. One of these laws are the Sales of Goods Act from 1979, which states that John Lewis must produce goods to a satisfying standard and that they must work for the purpose that the seller knows. Ecological. Our society is trying to cut emissions and become more eco-friendly by the day. John Lewis have made the odd changes over the years to reduce their carbon footprint, such as recyclable paper and energy-efficient cars. But they hope to make more drastic changes in the future, like powering whole department stores from just solar panels. Sociocultural. There are many social factors that have affected John Lewis, but the main factor is the trend in fashion. The huge rise in fashion interest has done John Lewis well, with a lot of people shopping there for branded items. This includes anything from clothing to kitchen appliances. Technological. Since John Lewis started, they've experienced the introduction of the internet. Due to the internet, John Lewis have been able to sell products online, message customers electronically, and send out advertisements, which has boosted their sales hugely. Next, we'll talk about the marketing environment, but the micro side of it. The micro environment of a business is the factors or elements in an organization's immediate area of operations that affect its performance and decision-making freedom. To look at John Lewis's microenvironment, we use the acronym SWOT. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in relation to a business and its effective strategic analytic tool for the company's analysis. Strengths that John Lewis has are strong brand image, strong online presence, effective level of employment relationships, and extensive product range. Some of the weaknesses John Lewis have are absence of international business experiences, recent slump in profits, lack of effective marketing strategy, and lack of competitive advantage. Some of the opportunities to look forward to in the future for John Lewis are international market expansion, development of the new unique selling propositions, formation of strategic partnerships in the global markets, and new product development. Some of the threats they face, though, are failure in markets due to the cultural differences, negative effects on new legislations, cash flow problems, and emergence of new competitors with strong competitive advantage. Stakeholder theory. The definition of a stakeholder theory is a conceptual framework of business ethics and organizational management which address moral and ethical values in the management of a business or of an organization. The stakeholder theory suggests that the purpose of a business is to create as much profit as possible for the stakeholder. In order to be sustainable and succeed, executives must keep the interest of customers, suppliers, employees, and shareholders aligned. Innovation to keep these aligned is more important than the easy strategy of trading off interests of stakeholders against each other. Therefore, by managing for the stakeholders, executives will also create as much value as possible for the shareholders. An overall summary. Marketing isn't just a process, it's a philosophy that has to be adapted to each situation. We've also learned that the macro environment is massively uncontrollable, whereas the micro environment is semi-controllable. And finally, the stakeholder theory actually benefits both stakeholders and shareholders. On this final slide are just my references that I've used for this blog. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for listening.